Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Gail Dudley, and it is time for News in Motion. How are you today? I see you, Deborah Johnson. I see you this morning. I see you this morning. I see you, Jacqueline, coming up in here. I see you as well. Hey, y'all, it is Wednesday, January the 18th, 2023. I am your host, Gail Dudley, and again, it is time for your News in Motion. I want to welcome everyone who's either tuning in live on Facebook, YouTube, or our LinkedIn page, or if you're listening live on audio or any other podcast platforms. If you're listening to the replay or if you're listening later on during the week, we just want to say thank you for allowing us to spend a part of your day with us. I see you, Lori Wallace. I see you, Tanya. Good morning, coming in from YouTube. Deborah says, I look amazing. Well, thank you, girl. I see you, Dr. Antoinette. I see you. Y'all, we have a lot of news, so I want to get to that. I've been sharing with you all that if you want to promote your business, your product, or your service, you may do so. And we have a graphic that we're going to put up. It's $50 per placement. It's $50 per placement. And it stays on. It stays on. If y'all notice, these never get deleted. They stay on. So for more information, you can email newsinmotionwithgail@gmail.com. So if you have an event that's coming up, or a product or a service or a book or whatever, you can now place that promo. You can now place that. I see you, Shardini. I see you, Latrice Jones. I see you, Deborah Sneed. We do not have a graphic for this particular person this morning, but I do want to share, and she will be on our podcast, Politics and Prose, next month. She's a nutrition and a wellness coach. Her name is Jessie George. She is from India. She is from India. We met last week and we started talking, and she says, hey, I would love to sponsor a segment for News in Motion. And so she used to be an engineer. Her story is phenomenal, but she actually beat diabetes, like seriously beat it. So she is now a nutrition and wellness coach, and she walks people through all of that. So be on the lookout for when we announced her being on the podcast so that she can share more. She's a sweetheart too. Just to read a little bit about her, she says, professionals and entrepreneurs hire me to reclaim their health because most struggle with yo-yo dieting, emotional eating, and stress eating. So I help them create a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. She goes on to say, the bottom line, you can live healthy without depriving yourself of the food you love and without going to the gym. I said, I need to know more about that, sister. I need to know more about that. But it was great. It was great to know that people, I see you, Judy Neal, that people are tuning in and seeing what we do from all over. So y'all, yes, she's from India. So that's really exciting. I see you, Robert Holtman, as well. All right, y'all, listen, if we don't wake up, I also see my brother coming in here as well. I see Stephanie Burbridge Hall. I see Rhodaza Martell as well. So y'all, if we don't wake up, we need to wake up. The headline reads in USA Today, and actually this one really upset me. Army officer, y'all remember this video, I'm sure, of the Army officer who was driving in Virginia. A sheriff or a police person came behind him. It was late at night. He waited until he got over to a convenience store, gas station, before all of this happened. Y'all remember that? Black man. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? All right. Well, the Army officer requested 1.5 million in damages after violent traffic stop by Virginia police. Y'all, the jury awarded him $3,685. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. And neither are a lot of people out here. We're not happy. So, y'all, I'm going to give you the direct quote from USA Today. You remember that, Latrice? Yes. He requested 1.5 million for all of this after the video cam and everything. The jury sided with him, but only awarded him $3,685. I'm like, how did y'all get to that exact number? That was interesting as well. So, y'all, here's a direct quote from no, I'm not kidding you. Here's a direct quote from USA Today. Lawyers for the U.S. Army lieutenant who sued two Virginia police officers for mistreatment during a 2020 traffic stop say that they will ask for a new trial after the jury sided with the client, but awarded him far less than the 1.5 million he was requesting. A federal jury in Richmond, Virginia, found officers Joseph Gazera and Daniel Crocker acted improperly in the stop of the Lieutenant Cameron Nazario. But the jury ordered for them to only pay $2,685 in damages to compensate Nazario for his injuries he suffered in the December 5th, 2020 nighttime stop. The jury ordered Crocker to pay $1,000 in punitive damage. That's how you get up to $3,685. So y'all, that's what's happening. And that should make all of us angry. So you say that it was done improperly, but then you're going to insult him with that little bit of money. Are you kidding me? The other thing, when I looked at this, I said to myself, y'all, here's a U.S. Army lieutenant. And I even go back to that time when the video first went viral. I thought, this is how we treat our servicemen and women. This is what we do. So then after all of this and all the body cam footage and all of this information, you're going to say $2,685 and then $1,000 for punitive damage? What an insult to Black and brown people around this world. I see you, Kim Edmondson, and we want to shout out Kim Edmondson. Today is her birthday. So happy birthday to you. So y'all, that's what's happening. And I wanted to start the news off this morning with that story to say, once again, we see things, we get emotional about it, we talk about it, and then after a little while, we're done with it. Y'all, we cannot do that. So y'all, if we don't wake up, especially with who's running the house, which I'm gonna get to that in this next segment. But seriously, we must wake up. We must wake up. Dr. Antoinette says, so the lives of people in our military doesn't matter. Great question. Latrice says, this man has served our country, and this is a slap in his face. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we have to do better, y'all. We have to do better. So even, and I know I'm gonna get pushed back on this, but as registered voters, if we're called to the jury, y'all don't make up reasons as to why you're not wanting to do that. Go. We need to be sitting on these juries. Don't make up a reason like, oh, I can't do it, I'm out of town, or I got an appointment, or my work won't let me. You're making stuff up. Go, because we're needed on the jury. We needed that. Latrice Jones says, meanwhile, Tom Brady received how much in PPP loans? And let's not even go PPP loans. And let me go a step further with that, Latrice. I thought about that the other day when he was like having a fit, and that meme that's going viral from Monday's game, which I told y'all in the voice of, I was channeling Kenny Stanley yesterday. Them boys, whatever. And he'll be on in a few moments. But listen, the other thing I thought about that with Tom Brady, it's interesting you brought that up. And soon thereafter, he bought a yacht. So you needed this PPP money, but you bought a yacht, and nobody wants to talk about that. I still want to say, you bought a yacht. How did you get that money? Because they sure are arresting people that bought Range Rovers, houses, and stuff, other things that don't have a name in the community. They're just everyday people who, that was still wrong. But when we're going to talk about Tom Brady and this yacht, thank you, Latrice, for bringing that up. So Deborah says, I have been registered voter since 1975 and have never been called for jury duty. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, that's interesting. So I want to move to the 118th Congress, House of Representatives. And here's another USA Today quote. USA Today's press releases were off the chain yesterday, so I think I'm using all their quotes today. And the quote is, revelation about President Joe Biden's handling of classified documents handed two of his fiercest critics ammunition to investigate just as they became committee chairmen. Who are they? Representative Jim Jordan from Ohio, and then the other one is Comer from Kentucky. They are on the Judiciary Committee and the special subcommittee created to investigate in the Biden administration, and they can set the agenda. They have subpoenas in hands, and then Comer is also over the Oversight Committee. Now, they are armed. They can do subpoena power, megaphone of committee hearings. They can antagonize Joe Biden through 2024 if they want to. Jordan and Comer have subpoena power. That means Congress is going to have more leverage to get what it wants, and is trying to get information. And now this is one expert who told the USA Today, again, I'm quoting from them, the revelation about the discovery of classified documents at Biden's former office, at the think tank in Washington and at his Wilmington home have fueled the fire, and they said they're coming for him. So when we think about these committees, and I want to just give y'all a list of committees, because I realized a lot of you yesterday, y'all were writing in saying, I didn't know there were all these committees. Let me give them to you real quick. Agriculture, Appropriations, Armed Services, Budget, Education and Workforce, Energy and Commerce, Ethics, Financial Services, Foreign Affairs, Homeland Security, House Administration, Judiciary, National Resources, Oversight and Accountability, Rules, Science, Space and Technology, Small Business. Stop right there. Those last two I just said, did they really put George Santos on those committees? Did they really put him on the Small Business Committee? He falsified his application about that. Are y'all serious? They put him on those committees. Okay. Transportation and Infrastructure, Veterans Affairs, Ways and Means, Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, select committees on strategic competition between the United States and the Chinese Communist Party. They made that one up. Joint Economic Committee, Joint Committee on the Library, Joint Committee on Printing, and Joint Committee on Taxation. So those are the committees. And as of yesterday, earlier this week, I told you that there were 11 of 17 from the Freedom Caucus that were on committees or chairing committees. Now they're up to 14, which means all the Freedom Caucus, or majority, except for 3, are on these committees that make up really interesting things for us. So yes, Santos on Tuesday got seated on 2 committees, and then the House Steering Committee on Tuesday agreed to place who? Marjorie Taylor Greene on the Homeland Security Committee. What? Are you serious? She's also on the Oversight Committee. Yeah, y'all. Yeah. Y'all, this is serious. This is quite serious. This is serious. And y'all know Marjorie Taylor Greene has no business. She's even on video saying that if she was handling January the 6th, they would have been successful. This is her. That's domestic terrorism, right? That's what I'm calling it. So that's what's happening. And we need to be very mindful of what's happening. All of a sudden, Michael Cohen came back. He appeared again on yesterday. He has been deposed once again, and he made a statement on several news sources that this is his 14th time on this particular deposition. Then he was silenced. He did share on one of the press releases that they asked him not to share anything because they did not want the information getting to the former guy. So y'all, something is happening. Something is happening. Something is happening. So notice who are on these committees and what could help. Notice who's on these committees and what could help. So that is happening. I'm getting a notice from LinkedIn. I have no idea what that is, but we're not going to worry about that today. So Alan Weisselberg, he's currently serving 5 months in Rikers Island at the age of 75. He was former President Donald Trump's longtime chief financial officer. So that is what's happening. I don't know what I'm doing to my screen this morning. Sorry, y'all. That's what's happening there. So Weisselberg is said that he's extremely nervous about Michael Cohen's deposition. I can't imagine being 75 years old, someone who has been so committed to the former guy, that he may never see the light of day. He's right now just again serving 5 months for that. So things are happening, so just stay tuned. Things are happening. Jacqueline said, was she the one who gave a tour on January the 5th? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Jacqueline, if that was her or not. So y'all, one more thing, and then we're gonna go to Kenny, and then we have some good news. And I don't want y'all to go anywhere because I got a job position to share with you all that is gonna be what? So don't go anywhere. Y'all, USA Today again, so just pulling it off from USA Today. The headline reads, Wyoming lawmakers push for electric car ban and to limit sales by 2035. Here's their quote. A group of Republican Wyoming lawmakers want to phase out the sale of the electric vehicles in the cowboy state by 2035, saying the move will help safeguard oil and gas industries. The bill introduced into the state legislature on Friday claims electric vehicles will hinder Wyoming's ability to trade with other states. Wyoming's vast stretches of highway, coupled with the lack of electric vehicles charging infrastructure, make the widespread use of electric vehicles impractical for the state. They also are said they want to shut down Joe Biden. So let me get this straight. So you want to ban electric cars because Joe Biden was in one, driving around one, and encouraging people to get one. So what's your real reason? What are your constituents saying? What do they want to do? And let's talk about this. Where are we at this moment when it comes to gas and oil? What's really going on? You all, when we're voting, and I know we're early in the game, but if you notice how many people have thrown their hats into these races that are coming up. So primaries will be starting the first of 2024, and that's only 11 months away. So yeah, and y'all saw how fast 2022 went by. 2023 getting ready, we're almost to February. But let's just talk about this. We got to get beyond personalities and character and this charisma, and get down to, okay, let's think about the legacy I'm leaving. Let's think about the people who are coming behind me. Let's think about all these things. Let's just talk for just a brief moment. I'll bring Kenny in, I promise. Let's talk just for a brief moment what's really happening. What's really happening is that we're focused on scandals. We're focused on making sure that the rich are not taxed. We're focused on fees for small businesses and people who don't really have that much in bank accounts. Where we're focused on banning books and we're trying to erase history. We're focused on what women should wear in the chambers. And by the way, my short video on YouTube, I am getting beat up by the white men. I mean, but I'm going back, I'm going after them till they send me a comment. I'm responding to the comment. And I brought up Ted Cruz when he went on the floor with a t-shirt. They ain't like that. They coming for me, but I can handle it, whatever. So we're focused on teachers being armed in schools. We're focused on low income families and how they're not doing their part, and they're not given to society, and there's all these jobs out here. They're focused on things, electric vehicles. Is that where we're headed? Is that what we're doing? These are the kind of conversations we need to have, and we can't wait to 2024 to have them. So I just want to hear from you all as Kenny is coming in. I want to hear from you all in the chat. What are your thoughts about all of this? Where are we headed with this new House of Representatives? The fact that they put Marjorie Taylor Greene on Homeland Security and Oversight Committee. Where are we when we're talking about what's his name, George Santos, who just lied? We don't even know if that's his name anymore, and we make fun of that, but the truth is we really don't know. So where are we with all of this? Where are we? All right, so let's bring in Kenny, see what he has to talk about. And I wanted to see y'all talk to me inside here. Talk to me. All right, good morning, Kenny. I see you're at the barber shop today.
Yeah, good morning. I'm coming from the barbershop. Yeah, that's where I'm coming from today. How y'all
All
doing?
right. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. How
All
you
right.
doing? That's the
All right.
question.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
All
Ready to
right.
get
Well,
this
go
day
ahead,
on the
take it
road.
away. Go ahead, take it away.
Okay. All right. News in Motion family, good morning. Coming to you live, like I said, from the barbershop. Blazing Cousins Barbershop. Hey, come and check us out. But anyway, back to the sports here on News in Motion. Hey, did you check out that game Monday night? How about them boys? That's right. I'm telling you, they took Tampa Bay out. Tom Brady got sent off to the gone fishing as the Dallas Cowboys beat Tampa Bay 31-14. Now we're on to the divisional rounds, and now it's getting ready to get serious. I love these. I love how the NFL has set it up where you have a 1 week, basically it's a 1 week season. That's what the playoffs do. It's a 1 week season. Either you win and you go on, or you lose and you go home. So I like how it's set up. Hey, come Saturday in the divisional round, we got at 4:30 on NBC. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're headed to Kansas City. Will Jacksonville keep on the Cinderella slippers because they have won a few games. They came into the playoffs hot, and they came from behind last week when they was down 27-0. They came back and won their game. And then at 8:15 on Fox, you got the New York Giants headed to Philadelphia. Hey, this is the third time they're gonna see each other. What's gonna happen this time? We're gonna have to see because it's hard to beat a team when you done seen them 3 times. So let's see what happens. On Sunday, you got the Cincinnati Bengals going to Buffalo. That game is at 3 o'clock. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff on CBS. Will the Bengals keep moving? Are the Bengals on their way back to the Super Bowl? Or will Buffalo do as everybody's predicted at the beginning of the season? Will they be the team going their way to the Super Bowl? We'll have to see. And then that Sunday night, the Sunday evening game is 6:30 on Fox. We got them boys going up against the 49ers. Everybody done picked my boys to go ahead and be shown the exit door out of the playoffs come Sunday. But we got to see, like I've been telling everybody, the game has to be played. You got to play the game first. You can't sit there and say that somebody's gonna get go home. Yesterday in the NBA, we had Steph Curry as the Golden State Warriors went to the White House, and they thanked President Biden. They thanked Camilla, the Vice President Harris, um, for supporting them and then getting Brittany Griner home. And that was a great thing. So I'm glad Brittany is free. I'm glad they did what they did. And I'm glad Steph came out and said something. The NBA is kicking off, and the games are starting to get interesting here in the NBA. Everything seems is going towards the playoffs, even though they haven't got to the All-Star game yet. But these games are starting to get interesting. Last night we had 4 games on the schedule. In those games, we had the Bucks beating the Raptors. Milwaukee Bucks beat the Toronto Raptors 130-122. San Antonio Spurs beat the New Jersey Nets 106-98. The Portland Trailblazers got beat by the Denver Nuggets 122-113. And my Philadelphia 76ers beat the Los Angeles Clippers 120-110. Hey, that's sports for today. I got a story for y'all Saturday. So tune in Saturday and let's see what's gonna go on. The question is, why do men turn to violence when they get rejected? Hey, check me out Saturday at 6:30 on Game Over, and we're gonna go from there. We're gonna talk about it. So tune in Saturday. Now we're gonna go back to Gail for more news, and I'll see y'all Saturday. That's it for me. Game over. Have a good day.
I love that. I love that question. What's the question again? Why do men turn to violence?
When they get rejected, why do
All right,
men turn to violence when they get rejected?
all right, y'all. We got to turn in on that on Saturday. Thanks so much, Kenny. Great job.
All right, I see y'all Saturday.
Okay. All right, so much. Kenny brought a lot. That sounds very interesting. So be sure to tune in on Saturday at 6:30, right here on News in Motion. Latrice Jones said, and I agree with this. She says, we as Black people are at a point where we need to wake up and take action. We need to develop and support leaders who will work for us and our interests. I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. Thank you so much for putting that up there. All right, a couple other news things, and I'm going into the inspirational message. And we got so much feedback from the inspirational message yesterday. Um, it's interesting because there's times I want to fight God. Like, nope, nope, nope. I don't want to do this inspirational message. And God's like, well, no, this is the one you're going to do. And I'm like, okay, okay, okay. So, so hold on. I got another message for you all today. But first up, Madonna announces the Celebration Tour, a 35-city global tour beginning in July that will cover her full catalog of over 40 years of music. So that's out there. Now, this next thing I want to share with you before I go into the inspirational message, CNBC reports, y'all, get ready, get ready. I thought about you, Lori, but I was like, no, Lori's like, I'm done with that. Y'all, Netflix is hiring a flight attendant for one of its private jets, and the job pays up to $385,000. And yep, I just put in the chat, y'all. We have the application link for you to apply. Yes, we do. So I put that in there. So the role demands flexibility to work a varied work schedule, including domestic and international travel, often requiring weekends and holiday work days and extended travel periods, as well as the ability to lift and carry up to 30 pounds at a time. So if you want to apply, I just put the link in the chat. Up to $385,000. Deborah says, say what? What are they really required to do? That's a good question. Kim Evans said, Lori Wallace, you better jump on that. Teach me how. Lori says, hey, I will look into that. I was a flight attendant and trained them. Look, the link is in there. Y'all better go for that. Somebody better go for that. Somebody better go for that. Y'all, in other news, if you happen to be, this is so exciting. I'm surprised I can contain myself. Latrice Jones said, let me go apply for this job. Listen, y'all, we vetted it. It is real. It's on Netflix site, and you just can't get stuff on Netflix. So we had to go through to get it. And I saw that. I wanted to make sure you all had it because somebody in our listenership is ready. Devante said, now that's a nice salary. Listen. All right, y'all. I'm so excited to share this with you all. If you happen to be watching Hulu at any time, NewsInMotion was they reached out to us, NewsInMotion, for their beta program on advertisement, and they wanted a news slot that does more than just one city. So they reached out. We said yes. So we're now working on a commercial, will be a 20-second commercial. Hopefully it'll be up sometime early March. So in March, if you're watching Hulu, you may just see a commercial for NewsInMotion that will come across. Is that exciting or what? Y'all, this is consistency. We're going on 3 years. This is consistency. So it's really exciting to see how all this will unfold. And hear me, their slots are super expensive. So this is like a gift. Latrice, what are we saying? Many miracles. This is like a gift that was handed to us. And I'm just that excited about it. So yeah, thank you, Devante. Thank you. So I was like, so you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. You never know what's happening. So we received that yesterday. First I was like, is this fake? As I was digging into it, and I see that they've been trying to reach out to different people. They have a certain criteria. So we're real excited to be a part of their beta program. So I'm like, wow. So you could really be watching Hulu, and you'll see NewsInMotion pop up for a 20-second commercial. And again, that won't be until sometime in March. So that's really exciting. So our inspirational message today, Latrice Jones said, come on, consistency. Devante said, this is huge. Yes, many miracles. Y'all, just think. And I can share this in Isaiah and Kenny and my daughter and others can tell you that right around September last year, I was like, are we just going to get them through the midterms and then is News in Motion no more? Are we done? And I think I told her that God was like, did I tell you that? I mean, I was like setting my own thought and plan, like, people, they come in, they're receiving a lot of content, but we really don't see a lot of support, whether it's shares or financial support or talking about it. And I was like, people get discouraged. Okay. Let's be honest. People get discouraged. And I was like, well, God, have I done what you've asked me to do? And after fast, I went on a fast after fasting and prayer. God was like, I need you to stay. I need you to just follow my lead. I need you to just be obedient because people are being helped. And then God had to remind me, were you doing this for a major audience or were you doing this for an audience of one? And I went back to what I've always followed, that I really am not into the numbers. I know sometimes you have to be because of sponsors and support and things like this, but I just still believe that one day our own group will begin to support and to do on a regular because of the content that we're giving. So y'all, for the inspirational message, oh, Robert Holman says God has his hands on you. Don't make me cry, Robert, this morning. I believe he does. I even think with Hulu, Many Miracles, I even think with Hulu, that was God saying, I need to give her something. I need to give her something. I can see her struggling a little bit. I really believe that. I really believe his hands are on me. And he said, let me go ahead and give this to her now. So I'm very grateful. So y'all, the inspirational message, y'all may want pen and paper again today. That the inspirational message is this, and I don't even think I have not that I did not give it to you, but do not allow your crisis to paralyze you. The inspirational message, do not allow your crisis to paralyze you. I'll say that again. Do not allow your crisis to paralyze you. Well, I have three questions I want you to ask yourself. And the first question is this: I want you to ask God, what do I have? So you're really speaking about yourself. You're going to God and you're asking him, God, what do I have? What do I have, God? What do I have? Thank you, Lori, for putting that in there. God, what do I have? And be still and wait for God to answer you. Then, as he's answering you, begin to identify the real challenge, not just the crisis itself, but the real challenge. Begin to identify the real challenge. Then, after you've worked through that, which you're not going to get all the answers, by the way, God doesn't work that way. The next question you should ask is this: well, what's around me? What is around me? Again, we're talking about do not allow your crisis to paralyze you. So you ask, what's around me? So determine what you can touch. What's the closest to you? Look at that because those are going to be your tools and resources that will help you through, not over, but through the crisis. The crisis, don't allow it to paralyze you. First, you need to ask, what do I have? Then identify the challenges. And next, you ask, what's around me? Determine what you can touch. Determine what's closest to you because those are going to become your tools and your resources. The third question you're going to ask, and this is the third question, you don't ask this in the beginning. You don't ask this question in the beginning. This is the third question you ask. The third question is, well, what's inside of me? And then allow God to reveal to you your true gifts and talents, not the gifts and talents that somebody else bestowed upon you that really aren't your gifts and talents, but the gift and talents that God has specifically for you. So again, God, what do I have? Identify the challenges. Really identify it. Don't just look at the crisis like, wow, I'm in the middle of a crisis. Well, what's the challenge? And really get to the root of that challenge. Where did it come from? How did it get here? Unpack that any way you want to, but you have to identify the challenge. And then what's around me? Okay, now that I'm in this crisis, now that there's a challenge going on and I've identified it, what's around me? What's closest to me? Because again, those are going to become your tools and resources. And then what's on the inside of me? Identify your gifts and talents. With all of that, do not allow the crisis to paralyze you. Take your time and work through it. When we're paralyzed, excuse me, that means we really can't move. But take your time. Those 3 questions will help you move through the crisis. Move through it. All right, y'all, that's all I have for today. Y'all know what I say, stay well. Let me see what some of you all are saying before I go there. Devontae is saying, come on now. Latrice Jones says, do not allow your crisis to paralyze you. Lori says the same thing. Jacqueline says, do not allow your crisis. Lori says, amen. You can't work on it until you identify it. What do I have? What challenges do I have? What's around me? What's inside of me? Thank you so much, Lori, for capturing that. And then Latrice says, this is how we change our perspective and reposition ourselves to succeed. Absolutely. Y'all got it. All right, y'all, stay well. And remember, make some bold moves. I'm out.